have arrived at the Candlelit Archive, a place that does not appear on maps and does not exist during the day. Only when the world grows quiet and the thoughts in your mind begin to slow does it open for you. Tonight, you have been granted access to one of its quietest rooms. A story that was never meant to be rushed. So you do not need to stay awake for it. In fact, you are not expected to. Just listen for as long as you can and let the rest fade on its own. There are certain railway stations the world has quietly forgotten. Not ruined stations, not haunted stations, only stations left behind gently by time. Places where clocks still hang beneath dark wooden rafters, where benches still wait patiently under dim amber lights, where rain still gathers along the edges of silent tracks. But where no trains arrive any longer. The schedules faded years ago. The ticket windows closed softly. The conductors stopped calling destinations into the night air. And still, the station remains quietly, as though it never minded being left behind. Tonight's story begins far beyond the busy cities and bright electric platforms of the waking world. It begins where old rails curve through forests through sleeping valleys, through drifting fog and deep blue darkness, toward the stations where trains no longer stop. At the edge of a small, forgotten town stands a railway platform wrapped in evening mist. The station sign hangs crooked slightly. Its painted letters have faded beneath years of rain and winter wind. One lamp still glows overhead. Soft amber light spilling across cracked stone. The platform is empty. No luggage waits beneath the benches. No footsteps echo beneath the roof. Only the faint sound of leaves moving through dark trees nearby. And somewhere very far away, the memory of a train whistle drifting through the hills. The tracks stretch outward into deepening blue darkness. Twin silver lines disappearing slowly into fog. Grass grows between the rails now. Wildflowers bloom along the edges. Nature has begun reclaiming what movement once occupied. But gently, always gently. A clock hangs above the platform. Its hands stopped years ago at 17 minutes past midnight. No one repaired it. No one removed it either. So the station simply continues existing inside its own unfinished hour. The waiting room nearby still smells faintly of old paper tickets, rain-damp wool coats, and cooled tea. Wooden benches line the walls. A forgotten timetable curls softly behind dusty glass. The listed destinations sound dreamlike now. Moonmere, Ash Grove, the hollow shore, Winter Bridge, the last pines. Places that may no longer exist, or perhaps places only reachable now through sleep. The station seems to understand this. It no longer expects arrivals. It no longer waits for departures. It simply rests beside the tracks while evening settles slowly around it. Beyond the station, the railway disappears into forest. Tall, dark trees gather close beside the rails. Pine branches sway slowly overhead. Fog drifts low across the ground in pale silver ribbons. The tracks no longer shine brightly. Time has softened them. Rain has darkened them. Moss grows over the wooden ties between stretches of steel. And yet, the rails still feel alive somehow, as though memory continues traveling them long after movement has stopped. The forest is deeply quiet at night, not empty quiet. living quiet. The soft creak of branches, the distant rush of hidden water, the occasional flutter of unseen wings moving gently through darkness. Every few miles, another small station appears among the trees. Each one slightly different. Each one carrying its own kind of silence. One station sits beside a still black lake where moonlight ripples softly across the water. Another stands near rolling hills where tall grass bends beneath the night wind. Another hides beneath climbing ivy so thick it nearly covers the windows entirely. At every station, the lamps still glow, not brightly, only enough to keep the darkness company. As though someone passes through each evening, lighting them carefully, one by one. Though no one is ever seen. The benches remain dry beneath the roofs. The clocks remain stopped, and the platform remains empty except for drifting leaves and the occasional sliver of rain. The stations no longer belong to schedules or urgency or destinations. They belong only to the night now, to stillness, to long, slow hours where nothing is expected to arrive. Inside the waiting rooms, everything remains almost untouched. Old lanterns hang from hooks beside the walls. Their glass glows faintly amber against the dark wood interiors. Coat racks stand empty. Umbrella stands wait patiently near the doors. And beside each window rests a small table holding a vase of dried flowers that somehow never fully crumble. The air inside these stations feels warmer than outside. Not warm exactly, only protected, like stepping beneath blankets during snowfall, or entering a library late at night while rain taps softly against the windows. At one station, a kettle still rests atop a small iron stove. No steam rises from it now. Yet the room still carries the faint, comforting smell of tea leaves and cedar smoke. Beside the kettle lies an open book. Its pages yellowed softly with age. The story inside has no ending. The final sentence trails away midway through a paragraph, as though the reader simply grew sleepy and decided to rest instead. Another waiting room contains rows of sleeping clocks. Tiny travel clocks, pocket watches, large brass station clocks, all stopped, all quiet. Their silence feels peaceful somehow, because inside these forgotten stations, time no longer pushes anyone forward. Near one window hangs a faded sign. Please wait here quietly. The words seem less like instructions and more like permission. Permission to pause. Permission to stop moving for a while. Permission to exist without needing to arrive anywhere at all. Outside, snow has begun falling lightly. Thin silver snowflakes drift through lamplight and settle softly along empty rails. The stations receive the snowfall calmly, as though they have watched thousands of winters pass this way. Thousands of silent nights. Thousands of slow, drifting hours. Sometimes, very late at night, something moves along the tracks. Not loudly, not quickly, only softly enough to almost be imagined. Far in the distance, a faint glow appears between the trees. Warm, golden light moving slowly through the fog. The rails hum gently. The station lamps flicker once, and somewhere in the sleeping forest, a whistle sounds. Low, lonely, beautiful. the train itself is difficult to fully see. Its windows glow amber through mist. Its dark body drifts silently through the forest, like memory itself. It does not rush. It does not thunder. It glides slowly, almost weightlessly. But the strange thing is this: the train never stops, not at any station, not anymore. It only passes through. Window after glowing window, sliding silently across the darkness. Inside the train, lamps glow beside empty velvet seats. Curtains sway gently beside rain-covered glass. Sleeping compartments drift quietly past. A dining car lit by candlelight. A reading lamp left glowing beside an abandoned book. Soft blankets folded neatly across empty beds. No passengers can be seen. Only warmth. Only stillness. Only the feeling that the train itself has become part of the dreamlike world through which it travels. The stations watch it pass quietly. No disappointment. No longing. Only recognition. as though the stations understand that some things are no longer meant to stop. Only meant to move softly through the darkness and continue onward. Eventually the train disappears again into distant fog. The rails grow silent. The forest settles, and snowfall continues softly through the amber station lights. One final station waits far beyond all the others, smaller than the rest, quieter too. The roof is dusted with snow. Its windows glow faintly gold. And beside the tracks rests a single wooden bench beneath a sleeping lantern. No timetable hangs here. No clock remains. Only silence. Only snow. Only the endless soft darkness stretching through the trees beyond the rails. The station no longer feels forgotten. It feels relieved, released from urgency, released from schedules, released from arrival and departure entirely. Now it simply exists inside the deep, peaceful hours of night. And standing there beneath the snowfall, it becomes possible to understand something gentle. Not every path must continue forever. Not every journey requires rushing ahead. Some places become beautiful precisely because they stopped, precisely because they grew quiet, precisely because they allowed the world to move on without them. The snow falls deeper now. The forest darkens softly. And the stations where trains no longer stop rest beneath an endless midnight sky. The lamps glow lower. The rails disappear beneath silver frost. The waiting rooms sleep quietly beside the tracks. And somewhere far away, the dreamlike train continues onward through fog and darkness and memory. Never rushing, never loud, only moving gently through the night. The clocks remain still. The benches remain empty. The stations remain calm. And slowly, very slowly, the mind begins becoming quiet too. Like snowfall settling over rails. Like lantern light fading in distant windows. Like the final sound of a train whistle disappearing into the dark. Now the forest sleeps. The stations sleep. The tracks disappear softly into the night. And somewhere among the drifting snow and amber lights and silent waiting rooms, sleep finally begins arriving. And now, the Candlelit Archive grows quiet again. The books return to stillness. The lanterns continue their gentle watch. And the story is safely put away until it is needed once more. You do not need to finish this moment awake. You do not need to hold on to anything from it. Only rest. Only slow down. Only